I am dead sure that you are on your specific person's mind if you are thinking about them. Well, common people deny this, but spiritual people understand it. Yet no one talks about this. After discovering Neville's work, I understood that it is very easy to connect with a specific person. It is very easy to send them your thoughts, and it happens through thought transmission. As I was reading Prayer, The Art of Believing, I understood this concept of thought transmission in depth, and it has benefited me in every area of my life. If you understand this today, then it can have a major impact on your life as well, because in this video, I will share a technique that will help you transmit your thoughts in a powerful way to a specific person. So, be sure to watch this video till the end, as half knowledge is worse than no knowledge at all. While reading this book, I came across a teaching that says, your consciousness is the light reflected on the mirror of your mind and projected in space to the one of whom you think. By mentally speaking to the subjective image in your mind, you cause the mirror of your mind to vibrate. Your vibrating mind modifies the light of consciousness reflected on it. The modified light of consciousness reaches the one toward whom it is directed and impinges on the mirror of his mind. It causes his mind to vibrate according to the modification it undergoes. Thus, it reproduces in him what was mentally affirmed by you. After reading this, I got shocked, as before knowing this, I was cursing a specific person, complaining about them, and saying bad things about them in my mind. I wasn't even aware that it reached them, but after applying this knowledge, everything changed in my life. You have to understand that Neville always says that consciousness is the one and only reality, and your 3D reality, or the physical world, is just a reflection of your internal beliefs. So, whatever you are holding internally, you are passing it on to everyone around you. Therefore, it is highly important to be mindful of who you are assuming yourself to be. Now, this is not limited to your identity. It also works based on your assumptions about the people in your reality. And Neville highlights in every lecture that in order to change anyone in your reality, you first have to change the concepts you are holding about them in your mind's eye, as the assumptions you are holding about them are becoming a fact in your reality. Your specific person might be your love interest, and he might be ignoring you right now. This is happening because of the concept you are holding about him in your mind's eye. He appears in your reality as a person who is disinterested in you. I made a video in the previous days where a woman turned a specific person from being disinterested in her to being obsessed with her. I will link to that video at the end of the screen. But, coming back to my point, the way people treat you or think about you is based on your thoughts and assumptions. Your specific person might appear as a cold person to you as you manifested that version of him in your life, but in another's life, he might be a loving person. Take the example of your specific person's mother. He appears to be this loving, kind person to her because she has this dominant positive assumption about her son. Even in your life, you have different assumptions about people. You look at your siblings differently than their friends. The way you look at them is the way you appear to them. Now, with thought transmission, you can change it altogether. When you transmit your thought to another, the receiver of that thought thinks that it is their own idea. This is where it blows my mind. This is where the tables turn. When I was new to this law, I always thought how scary it would be if my specific person thought that I was sending them the thoughts. Like when we communicate in messages, the receiver of the messages knows who the sender is. But it is not the case with thought transmission, as consciousness is the one and only reality, and we share the same consciousness. When we share the same consciousness, it means that deep inside we are just one, and we are just wearing different costumes and appearing different. So, if I generate an idea and become conscious that Sophie loves me and always thinks positively of me, then this idea will reach Sophie instantly. Whatever I say to her subjective image will reach her, and in her mind, she will become aware of this idea. But she won't think that the game of belief sent that idea to her. She will think that it is her own idea that she is interested in me and wants to be with me. She would think positively about me. She would have no clue that it was me who sent her that thought, as deep inside we are just one. The law is working continuously, and it is happening to everyone around us. Now, I see people, including you, who are thinking constantly about their specific person. And this means that your specific person is also thinking about you too. Now, you will say that if they are thinking about me, then why don't they contact me? Why don't they text me? And why don't they confess it to me? Well, it is natural and normal to have such questions, and the answer to that question is very simple. But, before telling me this, if I ask you to go into the kitchen and make a dish, now, if you have never ever made something in your life before, what kind of dish will you make? Would it be tasty? Would it be delicious? What do you think? Well, in the majority of cases, the cook will make a dish that is either undercooked or burnt, has too many spices, or is totally bland. It will still be a dish, but it won't be tasty and delicious. On the other hand, if I ask a person who has experience in cooking, they will make a dish that is tasty and worth eating. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, because this is the answer to your question. You will wonder, have I gone nuts? How can this be my answer? Well, if you listen carefully, you will get the answer, but I know you are the CEO of a big company and you don't have time. So, let me clarify this for you. In our example, the dishes were made irrespective of the level of knowledge of the person in cooking. But one made it terrible, while the other made it yummy. The same is the case with your specific person too. Whenever you think of a specific person, your thoughts are reaching them, but what you are thinking matters. If you are thinking unpleasantly, then you are like the first chef who made the dish but it was burned or undercooked. In short, it was terrible. In the same way, if you are thinking that they don't love me, they don't want to talk to me, they are showing attitude toward me, or they are cold, then this is also reaching to them. They are thinking it is their own idea and feeling that they don't want to talk to you, that they want to ignore you, and that they want to show attitude toward you. Now, you only tell me, would such a person ever call you or text you? The way you define a specific person is the way they behave toward you. There is no doubt that when you are thinking about them, they are thinking about you too, but the thing that matters is what you are thinking about. Like the second chef who made that yummy, delicious dish. Are your thoughts about them positive? Are you thinking about them in a way that they would love to call you or text you? Did this blow your mind? Tell me in the comments if it did. So, your thinking matters. Think in a way that would be beneficial to you. Don't curse them if you want them. Don't talk unpleasantly to their subjective image in your mind. Just hug them, kiss them in your imagination, see the joy they have when you think about them, and they will respond. Now the trick to making it work is very simple. It may sound childish, but it would definitely work as it is a fun activity, or you may call it a technique. To make it work, first you have to get a bottle that is filled with water. You have to hold this water bottle, look at it, and speak to the water inside it lovingly. You can say what you want your specific person to do or think about you. Like, I would say Sophie loves me and shows it to me. Sophie loves talking to me every day. Sophie surprises me with gifts. Sophie thinks positively of me. I am the only one for her. I am Sophie's first priority. I am important to Sophie. Like this, speak to the water and feel the loving feeling within you. Now, take a sip from this water, and after doing it, close your eyes and imagine your specific person taking a sip from the same bottle that you are holding physically. It does not matter if you are not getting a vivid image, just try and practice. Do it once, repeat these scenes, and feel the joy. Look how refreshing they feel after taking this sip of water, and how relaxed they feel. This is the technique. Now refer to it as the game of beliefs technique. Share your results with me in the future in the comments section. This technique seems easy, but it is very powerful. Test it, as it is something silly and fun. I have seen people sharing success stories after understanding thought transmission. Their specific person literally repeated what they were thinking about them. It works. Also, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned the success story of a woman who made a specific person obsess over her. You can click on the first video that pops up at the end of the screen to watch it because it will cause your specific person to become obsessed with you. Happy manifesting!